What's up, everybody? How you doing? This is Mel right here for another reaction. Been a while, huh? So last time I did a reaction on Truth or Scare, the episode Castle Ghost of England. Now we're gonna watch the original one, the actual documentary, which is like 52 minutes. But hey, if you guys like to react to movies that are like an hour long or two, hey, don't whine about it. And this is actually from 1995. This is actually a series. Like I already mentioned, I did a review on the series, like mostly behind it. But yeah. This is quite more interesting actually. But before we begin, did you subscribe, hit the bell? If so, are you ready for real terror? Well, since the 90s, had that nostalgia. Let's go right in it, shall we? And go.
England's glorious history has been steeped in ambition, greed,
Let me raise the volume a little bit.
betrayal. Its castle walls have witnessed centuries of bloodshed. The anguished wails of the forlorn still echo through the corridors. Cut off by tragic death, these restless spirits
Actually,
have been
this
trapped in limbo.
fun fact, like I
heaven and
mentioned
hell.
before,
Cursed
this
by
documentary is
pain, crying
like
out for
52
revenge.
minutes.
They have become the castle.
Everybody
ghosts
knows
of
why
England.
there are some scenes missing compared to the episode that we reacted of Truth or Scare. When you see this, okay. I recommend watching this. It's actually pretty cool. There's actually 4 of them. There's also Scotland, Ireland, and Wales as well. Which Truth or Scare did also. Ah, Robert Hardy. Okay.
Do you believe in ghosts?
Okay,
I do.
everybody, say
Ever
hi to the
since at
Mister
age of 6,
of
I
Magic.
ran
Say
acting
hi.
downstairs and said there was a grey lady standing silent outside my bedroom door. I'm not alone. 40% of the English believe in ghosts, and 1 in 7 people claims to have
Look at
seen
the
them.
U.S.
Spirits continue to haunt us
skeptic
from
nut
the dim
jobs. All they
recesses
feel
of
like
a darker
ghosts.
history.
That's how crazy it is.
Manifestations of the paranormal have many names in Britain. Wraiths, spunkies, chagrins,
Spunkies?
church grims,
The
hags
hell?
of the dribble. From the ancient
That's a
druids to
weird name.
Dickens' A Christmas Carol, spirits have been a palpable presence in the English landscape. On the west coast of England's remote Cumbrian region stands Manchester Castle, where 2 bloody murders triggered a series of strange events.
Imagine Michelle
that cannot be
Strandberg say
explained.
bloody murders right there on the show. And that during the time in the Scare Kids, it was called
This rugged
the
and beautiful
sleepover
landscape
horror
has echoed
hour.
to the gruesome
So
cries of the inhabitants
you want real
of
scary?
Manchester Castle.
Say bloody murder.
Its walls loom over the treacherous quicksands of the River Esk in the valley below. In 1464, King Henry VI, that rather pathetic royal victim of the Wars of the Roses, fled from defeat at the Battle of Hexham and was found wandering, confused and dazed in woods not far from here. The castle owners, the Pennington family, took him in and gave him shelter, and the king, who had very few possessions left, gave them in return his drinking vessel. This Venetian glass bowl, which became known as the Luck of Manchester.
It's a drinking bowl.
As long as the bowl is unbroken, the family will keep the castle. So far they have.
You want to take that challenge? Challenge accepted.
Unbroken.
Oh boy.
But the Luck of Manchester didn't rub off on others who lived here. For today the castle is plagued by eerie hauntings, odd happenings, and disturbing
Damn, the Scary
manifestations.
Kids or whoever now. You kept it as the original.
The
You want to scare
present owner of the
kids?
castle is
Scare them
Patrick
like
Gordon
this.
Duff
Damn.
Pennington.
They need a good
There have been
scaring.
Penningtons here in this castle, I know, since the early 13th century. Do you think that the spirits, the manifestations, the spectres, give the family special attention?
And sorry about the quality.
No, I'd
Yes,
like to
remember
think
this is
that
old.
They feel that we belong. and we like to feel that we belong to them a bit.
What kind of hauntings have people experienced here?
Sometimes when I open the shutters in the mornings, people pull the doors out of my hand. The last curator, he used to see a grey lady walking up and down the red passage outside our room. The tapestry room, people have slept in there and have asked to be moved. They hear people cry when they feel cold. They think it's a nasty place to be in, and people who feel anything at all, they come out not quite the same as they went in.
Residents and guests of the castle also report the distinct sound of thumping on the stairs.
Damn!
Evidence of paranormal
I bet you we still have that thing. I'm not joking. We have that. It's still in the closet. It still works.
1993.
But we don't have the, the cassette, the big ass ones.
Equipment for a scientific study of the hauntings.
I think you have to get it on eBay. That's where you get most antiques from now. Oh, is that owl hooting, huh? Classic. Hey, Howl.
At 10:40 p.m., the investigators
I think you're allowed to have that if you're responsible to have an owl. In the States and here, no. Jesus Christ.
A minute later, a vase began shaking. Then a loud thud was heard, followed by 3 raps. The investigators noticed a movement past the door. The team observed so many unexplained events that they reported it is hard to come to any conclusion other than that Manchester Castle is inhabited by supernatural energies. Not a few of the supernatural happenings have been attributed to a malevolent spirit that inhabits the castle.
Hey, it's our old boy Tom, man.
And in Manchester's long story, there's no more malevolent character to judge by events than Thomas Skelton. He was the last jester or fool to the Penningtons. He was known as Tom Fool and was responsible for the phrase tomfoolery. He was also a steward of the estate. He was a trusted servant of his masters and a tyrant to those beneath him. He's said to have known Shakespeare, indeed, to have been the model for King Lear's fool. Malicious, vicious, witty, and cruel. No one could play a trick more thoroughly than Tom Skelton. He loved to sit under a chestnut tree near the castle and wait for passers-by seeking
roasted
directions.
on open fire.
Those he didn't like, he'd send to their deaths in the quicksands below.
You don't hear that? The scary kid, don't you? Huh?
In 1585, a scandal broke around the daughter of the castle lord. Hellwise Pennington earned her name as a fiery, passionate, and fatally headstrong young lady. Although betrothed to the son of a powerful neighboring family, Hellwise fell in love with the village carpenter.
You can't catch me, I'm the gingerbread woman.
But their encounters were not to remain secret.
Oh boy.
When word reached Hellwise's father, Sir William, he sought out Tom Skelton, meeting him here under what became known as Thomas's tree. He told him to put an end to the scandalous affair. Skelton summoned the carpenter to the castle under the pretense that he was to meet his beloved Hellwise. Once there, he plied the carpenter with cider until he was drunk and insensible.
How strong is cider? Comment down below. If you're from the UK, how strong is cider? Kind of like vodka or sake? Like, on that level, how you rate it?
Then Then Skelton used the carpenter's own tools, a mallet and broad chisel, to hack off the young man's head.
You didn't see this part in Truth or Scare? Like I mentioned before? This was the part.
He was heard to say, when the lazy dolt wakes up, he'll have trouble finding his head.
Wait, how long does it take to chop somebody's head out with a chisel? Well, never mind.
Always one to please his master, Skelton presented Hellwise's father with the young carpenter's head. History does not record Sir William's reaction.
Surprise. You say get rid of them. There you go. A chiseled off head.
Silly the story, but then, when we'd been here a little while, we used to work terribly hard. Started in the office at 6 in the morning.
Damn.
And after tea, I would walk across the hall sometimes, and there were footsteps used to
I
follow
wonder
me.
who's in charge now. Because this is from '95, so might be dead for a long time now. Yep.
You don't think it could possibly have been an echo?
No, I've tried that out. No, it wasn't. And I've tried it with sort of shoes that didn't make a noise.
How about
But
boots?
I always heard the behind me.
Oop, sorry.
The thumping heard in the hallways could well be the sound of Skelton dragging the young carpenter's body through the castle. And the mournful crying? Could it be Hellwise weeping over her murdered lover?
There's some things that I can't stand because about these, arranged marriages. Because first of all, they don't like each other. You have one who loves somebody else, then the parental figure pissed off and say, "Hey, get rid of this bub. He's ruining my reputation." Huh? Jesus Christ. Things like these piss me off. Like, can love be love? But now these days, it's just fake. Everything's fake. That's the problem. You know what's real was real from reality. Now I'm not making sense myself. Jesus Christ. I hope they find each other in the afterlife. It's better to see each other in the afterlife than what happened. As for the people who perpetrated it, well, I hope they roasted in hell. Let's continue watching.
Afterwards, the heartbroken Hellwise disappeared into a nunnery and eventually went mad.
Damn. And what about him?
As for Thomas Skelton, he never paid for his crime, but fate has a way of meting out justice. He drowned in the River Esk.
Oh.
Is Manchester still haunted by the presence of Tom Fool, waiting to play one last trick?
What a nice lake. Or is that a river? Looks like a lake. Oh,
200 years later, these dark waters were to claim
is that a river or a
lives and
lake?
give rise to another apparition.
Oh, what are you doing over here?
One that prefers this road leading to Manchester Castle.
Oh, this is the one I was mentioning while doing Truth or Scare.
Good morning.
This one.
Grace Simmons, an employee of the castle,
I
has
wish they
seen the
kept
ghost.
it in it,
It'll be
along with the
about
other ones.
October in 1985 that I've been out for a night and coming back up the road, driving up the road with my husband, and just come around the corner.
The fact we're in 2025,
So
I'm watching this is from
lady-
1995.
She was leaning against the wall.
Hey, happy anniversary! Hello.
And she seemed in distress, so I said to my husband, "Would you stop? And I'll get out the car and go back and make sure she's all right." And yeah, we went back. When I got back to the corner, she'd gone.
The woman in white began appearing after a gruesome murder in 1822. Love seems to be ill-fated at Manchester Castle.
So does everything.
Mary Bragg, a servant in a nearby village, was madly in love with the castle's steward. But the housekeeper, a Miss Littledell, had taken a fancy to the same man.
Only a painting exists of her? Damn.
One night her jealousy turned to rage.
A woman's scorn.
Two ruffians appeared at Mary's door. Concocting a lie, they claimed her beloved had fallen ill and she must rush to him. Alarmed, Mary went with the two men. She never made it to her lover's side.
How dumb are you? Well, face it. A half moon. Jesus.
Near a tree on the road through Manchester Wood, the abductors pulled Mary Bragg from the carriage. A pistol was rammed into her mouth.
Damn! How about you show that, Discovery Kids? This is their part mentioned.
But poor Mary's body had more indignities to suffer. To get rid of it, the murderers left it in a field for the castle dogs to devour. When that failed, they tried to find a hiding place.
In the water. Whee!
They hoped the waters of the River Esk would do their
Oh,
dirty
the river,
work.
okay. I thought the lake. Looks like a lake, but it's actually a river.
But Mary Bragg's body refused to stay hidden. Months later, it was found washed up, further downriver, badly decomposed. At the coroner's inquest, a doctor claimed it was impossible to determine the cause of death.
Uh-huh.
Some say he'd been bribed to cover up the murder.
Well, wait for it. Karma.
But those involved with Mary Bragg's murder did not escape their fates. They met with bizarre ends. One of her assassins went insane, another was hanged as a highway robber. Mary's rival, Miss Littledell, who had hired the killers, became the subject of rumor and suspicion. Eventually, she was banished to a remote village where she was shunned as a murderess. The doctor at the inquest drowned in the River Esk, not 100 yards from where Mary's body had been dumped.
Damn. Karma, it's a cold mistress, I tell you what.
In 1993, the tree under which Mary Bragg died was cut down.
Damn, so that's true. Well.
The timber was reputed to be cursed. Blood began to ooze from the cut logs.
Hello.
No one locally would have anything to do with the wood. It had to be shipped to London to be sold.
Damn! Bleeding tree.
The apparition of the woman in a long white dress was seen on the very spot where the tree stood. Brutally murdered and mistreated in death. Could it be that Mary Bragg still wanders in search of justice?
Yep.
The whole business of haunting is based on the belief that at some moment of horror, at the very instant of suffering or inflicting death or intolerable pain, such emotional force is released that it remains to affect the living. As a sight or a sound, a coldness, a depression, sometimes even as a physical force. No unearthly presence is more powerful than one that haunts Sudeley Castle in the southwest of England.
I guess Munster, whatever. That's more. It's way longer. No, wait, no. Tower of London's more longer. Okay. Nice.
Nestled amongst the rolling hills of Gloucestershire, Sudeley sits in an ancient wooded valley that has changed little since it was established in Saxon times.
Yeah.
Today the grounds are known for their majestic oaks and deer-filled royal parklands. Sudeley Castle began as an extravagant royal wedding present in the 10th century. It went on to be owned by a succession of kings, including Richard III and Henry VIII. Despite its pastoral beauty, Sudeley Castle has a history of otherworldly events, including the chilling discovery of the strangely preserved corpse of a queen.
Oh, you know who we're talking about here.
Some say these incidents can be traced back to a
And if I
tragic
didn't
event
mention
that
this
resulted
in
an
the
apparition
episode,
which still
it's
haunts
kind
Sudeley
of
Castle
weird,
to this
but
day.
it was an interesting topic to mention about this one. Nice doorbell.
Aha, Peter Townwell.
That's right, Mr. Hardy. How nice to see you.
Peter Townwell is the caretaker at Sudeley. He probably knows as much as anyone about the castle and its spirits. I know there are legends and reports of supernatural happenings, but do you think the place is haunted?
Yes, I do. I get the general feeling, so do members of staff and visitors, that there is something there.
Employees report strange sights and sounds in the castle. The smell of an apple-scented perfume, the frequent forlorn sobs of a child, and the appearance of a tall, beautiful woman in a long green dress.
Uh-huh.
You get
The
from
mystery of the lady in green is the key to the hauntings at Sudeley.
apples, yes.
As Peter took me further into the castle, her presence appeared to become ever more tangible.
This is the castle nursery.
Some nursery.
What a beautiful room.
Damn.
Feels very calm.
But this is where most of the castle hauntings are taking place.
Can you account for that?
Well, I put it down to our Katie,
Who's Katie?
Queen Catherine Parr.
And this is her. Catherine Parr was a striking figure. Nearly 6 feet tall, with
Jesus.
auburn hair. She was intelligent and artistic, a lover of music and poetry. She is famous for being Henry VIII's 6th and last wife. Catherine Parr managed to keep her head and outlive him. Catherine always had a
Lucky
passion
her.
for this man, Thomas Seymour. He was handsome, selfish, a buccaneer, a political
What did I
adventurer.
say?
He was determined
Buccaneer?
to be near the crown. After Henry VIII died in 1547, Seymour proposed to his daughter, Princess Elizabeth. When she refused, he turned to the king's widow, Catherine.
Yeah. How old was her when she met this guy?
They were married later the same
Exactly.
year and came to live here at Sudeley. Within months, Catherine was pregnant. At the age of 35, it must have seemed a miracle, and everyone in the castle prepared for the birth with excitement and celebration. Sudeley's great banquet hall echoed with parties,
Damn,
music,
seriously?
dancing, and laughter.
Wait for someone to give birth while you're having a party? Some party, huh? While the woman's agony trying to push out the baby, you're just celebrating with booze and cake and meat. Gee. Look at that.
Then tragedy struck. Gloom silenced the castle. Catherine gave birth to a baby girl named Mary, but a week later Catherine died from a fever. Mother and infant daughter were forever separated. But the tragedy did not end there.
Him.
With Catherine barely dead, Thomas Seymour abandoned his newborn daughter and headed for London.
Scumbag.
Thomas Seymour went straight to Princess Elizabeth's bedroom and proposed to her for the second
Bedroom.
time. And the 15-year-old had the good sense to turn him down again.
15!
Undeterred, off he went.
Chomo!
and asked her half-sister Mary. She too turned him down. Tom Seymour's lust for power in the end was to prove his undoing. Indeed, he was beheaded for treason. And when he died, Princess Elizabeth wrote, "This day died a man of much wit and very little judgment."
Proposing to your half-sister, Bloody Mary, and for treason, for harassing her, you lose your head. Jesus. Wait.
Catherine was buried in the chapel
If
of Sudeley in
Queen Mary was his
1550.
half-sister, does it make
During Civil War, a
Princess
century
Elizabeth,
later, the
aka
chapel
Queen
was
Elizabeth
ransacked.
I, his
The
half-sister as
casket
well?
disappeared.
Sweet
140
home
years
Alabama!
later, a local farmer digging in the grounds came across a casket
In a
sealed
very
in lead.
way.
He forced it open, and what he saw astonished him. The body of a woman, perfectly preserved, her complexion still milky white, her hair auburn. But within seconds the corpse started to wither and turn to dust. And the terrified man hastily reburied
Found a
the
vampire?
casket. It wasn't until a century
Hey, what was
later
this?
when this
Alright, that's
new
because he
chapel was
appears.
built. Catherine Parr was finally entombed in a manner befitting a Queen of England.
Lucky she was not buried with you know who.
Apparently, Catherine Parr's spirit was not to rest. Margaret Parker, who's worked
Oh yeah, I
at
forgot
the
about the
castle for
servant as
23
well.
years, is
You know
the
what I'm
latest
talking about? The
witness
one who protects the
to
girls,
Queen's
the cat,
return.
that one.
Must be about 9 years ago. In the middle of winter, the castle was all locked up, and it was just 5 girls and myself cleaning. And it was an artist upstairs in Catherine Parr's room painting.
Knowing the woman artist was about, Margaret Parker wasn't surprised when she saw a figure standing in the window.
Morning.
But the artist had only just come down from the nursery.
Peace. Damn. That's a freaky one right there. Imagine you found out the artist. You see the real artist in front of you. You turn around, nobody's there.
Did she frighten you?
No. I don't think the dead can hurt you, can it?
Actually, it doesn't say.
Unlike
You
some
can't harm the dead. You can't.
the
The dead
former
can't
queen is a
can't harm
melancholy
you.
spirit who
If you try to
keeps to
harm the
herself.
dead, they will harm you.
But for those who live and work
Damn,
here,
that's a lot of keys.
she's become a friend.
Night-night, Katie.
Damn, that's a lot of keys, boy. This could have to be heavy to put on your chain
After
and
Catherine's
your
death,
pants.
her daughter Mary mysteriously disappeared from history. No one knows what became of the unfortunate little orphan.
Damn.
Four centuries later, are these two tragic souls seeking reunion? As if to purge itself of sorrow, Sudeley lay in ruins for 180 years.
There we go. Wow.
Then in the 19th century, Sudeley came alive again. Restored to its former glory, it was once again a home. But with a new generation of owners came a new occupant from the spirit world.
One of these fake ones.
During the Victorian era, people were fascinated by ghosts. They were everywhere. To glimpse a spirit was to be reunited with a loved one
the brown
who had
lady.
passed on.
That's a recognizable photo. The brown lady.
It seems only natural that a Victorian apparition is behind Sudeley's latest haunting, a haunting that has been witnessed quite recently.
Kitty, kitty, kitty.
present chatelaine and owner of Sudeley Castle is Lady Elizabeth Ashcombe, who hails from America. She inherited it from her late husband, Mark Dent Brocklehurst.
Huh?
It is, as I hear,
Really?
quite a modern spirit that is to be seen in the castle.
Yeah, it's cold here.
Can you tell me about her?
Well,
It's very
her
cold
name
for
is
here.
Janet, and she was the housekeeper here for many, many years.
Yeah.
She was here for 50 years. She came in 1896.
Oh. Why is it modern? Damn.
Late
it's
husband
from
Mark
It's from the 90s.
used to tell me
so-
stories about her when he came home from school, that she was still here and everyone's still terrified of her, and she was still ruling the roost with the iron glove. And so that's why I think she's still here. She just won't give it up.
The upkeep of a grand Victorian household
Weird.
such as Sudeley required armies of servants, housemaids, footmen, and gardeners. All had their allotted place in the hierarchy. As housekeeper, Janet was in a superior position. Together with the butler, she was responsible for the strict running of the castle, ensuring that everything ran like clockwork and taking orders from the lady of the house. But her supervision didn't end there. In accordance with the rigid moral code of the day, she took particular interest in keeping the female workers chaste. Many of them were young, unsophisticated girls from South Wales who were away from home for the first time. Janet took it upon herself to safeguard their morals, sternly keeping amorous boys at bay.
In other words, no guy got into you, so you're protecting them, huh?
It was said that at night Janet stood watch at the top of the
Damn.
stairs, protecting the virtue of her housemaids. Even today,
You forgot the
death
window.
has not loosened Janet's hold over her domain. Young girls who enter Sudeley seem to attract the housekeeper's attention. As one teenager found out in the summer of 1993 when she was on a tour of the castle.
Hey, kitty.
At the heavily gilded gold frame, you will find a picture of
Suddenly, without warning, a strange feeling overcame the girl, urging her up the staircase.
Son of a bitch!
Have you ever run into her face to face?
No, I haven't. But I feel, that Sudeley is, to me anyway, is just always been had a wonderful atmosphere. And, I've often been in the garden, but there's a particular time in the evening when the light is at a certain level and everything like that. And there is this sense of timelessness here. I can't really explain it, but one merges into it. And I think that all the people who lived
Sorry, I was
here,
looking
our
at myself in the
presence is
mirror.
still somehow in this sense of timelessness.
Gee.
If Sudeley's ghosts seem to linger out of duty or longing, that is not the case with our next castle. There, the letting of blood has spawned a legion of anguished spirits, for this is the Tower of London.
I'm bored. You know what I am.
For almost 1,000
Damn.
years, this revered landmark has been at the centre of the grand drama that is English history. It is said, he who holds the tower holds the power.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Royal Palace and Fortress of Her Majesty's Tower of London, the largest and oldest permanently occupied fortress in Europe. It covers over 18 acres, took them 200 years to build. It comprises of 20 towers, not one.
Damn, 20 towers.
Probably the best known, although one of the smallest, is the Bloody Tower, here behind you.
As a royal residence, the tower was home to England's kings and their courts. It was also a fortress and arsenal bristling with weapons. The Royal Mint was located here, and to this day, the magnificent crown jewels are still kept under guard within the tower walls.
Outside the small town called Hastings, he defeated the Saxon army, slayed his...
On the theory that one should keep one's friends close but hold one's enemies even closer, dangerous foes of the state were kept here as prisoners.
Wasn't the Raven? That's just crazy.
Torture and
Oh,
violent death were an ever-present possibility for the people of England. Hundreds fell victim to the red-hot poker, the spikes of the Iron Maiden, and the executioner's axe. The tower was witness to bloody deeds, terrible torment, and unbearable suffering.
And a very good day to you all. Thank you very much.
Thanks. As daylight is extinguished, visitors leave the tower. Gates fall shut. An uneasy silence descends over the tower walls.
Gross. Damn, that's creepy.
As the ancient stage for dramas of cruelty, ambition, and revenge, the tower is said to be the most haunted castle.
Well, no
in
shit.
England.
What do you call the Tower of Terror? That's the real one. The original.
After trials for crimes, real or invented, prisoners were brought by boat to this entrance, Traitor's Gate. Then under guard, the condemned were led into the tower grounds. The ravens watched them pass.
Oh, Raven, okay.
Legend has it that as long as the ravens stay, the tower will stand, and England will remain unconquered.
That's true. They mentioned about the Queen Raven, that if it disappears,
As a
something bad
prison
will
for
happen.
nobles and high clergy, the tower held many celebrated figures through the centuries, from Elizabeth I, before she became queen, to Rudolf Hess, deputy Führer of Nazi Germany in 1941. High-ranking prisoners condemned to die were led to Tower Green to meet the final axe. Commoners were led outside the walls to be hanged, burnt at the stake, or beheaded, providing cheap entertainment for bloodthirsty Londoners. After executions, severed heads were taken to London Bridge. There they were jammed on spikes as a warning for all to see. Crowds gazed as ravens pecked and fed, and the heads turned slowly black. In the tower's long history, there has been conspiracy, torture, suicide, murder, and there are many who have claimed to see strange apparitions. Patches of mist are said to appear suddenly throughout the grounds of the tower. In 1978, an American visitor staying with the governor claimed he heard music, voices, and religious chanting. But an earlier encounter was more spectacular. World War II. The Blitz. London is under siege from German planes. River Thames is not far from the docks and factories in the East End of London, the target of the attack. In the midst of this chaos, a terrifying vision formed at one of the tower gates. It was the autumn of 1940. A soldier was standing guard. He was completely unprepared for what was about to happen.
Halt! Who goes there?
Your granny! You
Out of the
stupid
mist
boy!
appeared 4 men. They were carrying a litter.
Oh boy.
As they neared, the soldier could see a figure under
Oh,
a
sorry about
blood-stained
that.
blanket.
Someone's playing garbage outside. You know, trash music. Thanks. Ooh.
Then the procession vanished into thin air. The
Yeah, but
uniforms
this is
later
World War
described
II,
by the
so
censorship were exactly
imagine you see
what
that.
sheriff's
How do you explain your
officers
superiors?
would have worn in the
Ah,
14th
you're drunk!
century. And the procession
Exactly.
took the route always followed after executions, when headless bodies were brought to this chapel to be buried. But the most persistent haunting is said to take place just over there, in the Bloody Tower.
Two princes.
2 young boys have been glimpsed playing in the tower. They are believed to be the spirits of 2 princes, 9-year-old Richard and the heir to the throne, 12-year-old Edward, the victims of a shocking crime. The boys were nephews of Richard III, England's favourite villain. Richard's enemies described him as malicious, wrathful, envious, little of stature, crook-backed. Still a controversial figure 500 years after his death. Some blame Richard for a series of
another
treacherous
200
murders,
here.
while others passionately
700.
defend him. What is known is that after the death of their father, King Edward IV, the 2 young princes were put under Richard's protection. Some say it was like assigning the fox to guard the chickens. For the princes stood between Richard and the crown. Richard had his nephews declared illegitimate and thus ineligible for the throne. He then confined them to the tower for their own safety, he said. For months they were seen playing on the battlements and in their room. But suddenly, in the autumn of 1483, the 2 boys disappeared, never to be seen again. No one knows exactly what happened, but with his nephews out of the way, the last obstacle between Richard and the throne was removed, allowing him to be crowned King of England. 40 years later, Sir Thomas More, himself later executed at the Tower, described in a book what he believed to be the fate of the boys.
Oh. Richard didn't want to hear any
He
spoilers, so
said
he offered his head.
Richard had dispatched 2 of his men to the Tower. As the boys slept, they stole into the room. Then they smothered the 2 sleeping princes. More wrote, they gave up their souls unto the joys of heaven, leaving to the tormentors their bodies dead in the bed. According to More, they were buried under a great heap of stone. In 1674, workmen uncovered a chest just near here. In it were the skeletons of 2 children. In 1933, these were scientifically examined. From the bone formation and the structure of the teeth, it was concluded they were the skeletons of two boys, a 12-year-old and a 9-year-old, matching the ages of the princes.
Damn.
As befitting a future king of England and his brother, the two small bodies were interred at Westminster Abbey. But their hapless spirits linger in the bloody tower. Betrayed, abandoned, murdered, they cling to each other in death as they did in life. The ghosts of the two little princes are reminders of the ruthless history of Britain's early monarchy, and the spirit that appears in this area of the tower is connected to another king's murderous determination.
Oh, we know which one. Oh.
These rooms
Remember
are
I
the home
said
of a particularly
that
gruesome
Truth or Scare forgot to show this part? They should have shown this part because this is one way to scare the hell out of for a sleepover.
Anne Boleyn is the controversial figure in this story.
The most famous ghost.
Some
in the
champion
tower.
her as a modern woman, vibrant, headstrong, and intelligent. Her enemies saw her as an ambitious schemer with an arrogant, tempestuous spirit. Anne's boldness and independence enchanted King Henry VIII. The attraction would precipitate a major turning point in English
What does
history.
she see in this guy?
And a
I mean,
personal
literally, he's a
tragedy
fat
for her.
hippo.
The king was married to Catherine of Aragon, but after 22 years, she failed
And
to
if I
produce a
recall,
male
wait,
heir.
I forgot the order. What was Anne? That was like the
For
third
the
or
young,
second
flirtatious
wife?
Anne Boleyn, it was easy to bewitch
No,
the
I
king.
think she was the
He
second one because
pined
the
for
first
her.
wife was divorced,
He wrote
and that's
her
when he
passionate
left
love
the
letters.
Catholic Church
Matters
to
came
form
to a head
the
when she
Protestant
became
Church,
pregnant.
which he's the head of the church after the Pope denied his
Expecting
divorce.
the son he so
for a
desperately wanted and needed to ensure the succession, the king convened Parliament and had his marriage with Catherine annulled. And the divorce which followed caused the celebrated break with Rome and the beginning of Protestant England, of which Anne Boleyn finally became queen.
I like how he
But she
blames the
gave birth
women
to
that he
a
couldn't
girl.
get a son.
The
Rousey,
future
hey
Queen
boys,
Elizabeth
we have the
the First.
seeds. They don't
The
just push it
second
out.
child, a longed-for boy, was stillborn.
Elizabeth.
Henry grew tired of waiting for Anne to produce a son. His passions were aroused by
Wow,
a young lady
he
in
in
waiting,
Bedmore,
Jane
dumb
Seymour.
shit.
Where Anne had been the other woman, she was now the aggrieved wife. Anne had become an obstacle to Henry's dynastic ambitions. She had many enemies in court. Rumours of
Well,
witchcraft,
Henry VIII's a
adultery,
misogynist
treason,
pig.
even trumped-up charges of incest with her brother gave Henry the opportunity he needed.
Oh boy.
Anne was arrested and taken to the Tower. Tried and found guilty, she was sentenced to be executed. As she awaited death, Anne had violent mood swings. One moment she was laughing, the next crying. Then a calm overcame her. She sent a message to Henry requesting that her head be cut off with a sword, not an axe. The axe was messy and often took more than one stroke.
B for Boleyn.
The morning of May the 19th, 1536, a flock of scavenging ravens gathered to watch as Anne Boleyn was led into the courtyard of Tower Green. When the inevitable moment came, the executioner readied the sword behind her back. Anne looked forwards. Before she
I say
knew
the
what was
execution,
happening,
the rest felt
eyewitnesses
bad for her
reported the
since she didn't do
executioner
it for only just her
swept off her
husband
head at a
being a
slope.
pig.
Major General Geoffrey Field is Governor of Her Majesty's Tower of London. Do you know what happened to her body?
Well, I know the story of what happened. Immediately after the executioner picked up the head and displayed it to the crowd who had gathered to see the execution. And the story goes that the eyes continue to move and the lips continue to move for several seconds after the beheading. The body was then put into an arrow chest. Apparently there was no coffin available for some reason. Put into an arrow chest with the head tucked under her arm, and she was then buried in the chapel of St. Peter ad Vincula, which was immediately behind the execution site.
Within 24 hours of Anne's burial, King Henry married his new wife.
What an asshole. I guess when he died, his body was never given respect. I meant literary description. Oh boy. Bloated and
but
with
headstrong in
the
life,
coffin.
Anne Boleyn's spirit was not to be denied by death.
Let me pause for a minute. Let me finish what I was saying. He remarried after her head was chopped off. That's how big of a pig he is. Jesus. Why are these women into this guy? Oh, he just rizzed them with poetry until you realize he's just a pig. Until you realize when he died, his body was bloated like a balloon. When they put it in a lead coffin, his body exploded. And the Jews, you don't want a corpse decompose and explodes from the gases and the juice falling? Yeah. Imagine the smell. Whoo! Here's the scary part. Nobody knew he passed away, and they were afraid. As they started rumors, they'll be getting the heads chopped off. Jesus Christ. And he's buried with his 5th wife, I believe? I don't know which wife. I know there was 2, Anne Boleyn and another one, another Catherine, I believe, that lost their heads. And one was divorced, one died of childbirth, and the other lived on. Yeah, 6. Which is the one that mentioned, Katie. You know, Queen Catherine Power. That was the one who outlived him. Jesus. Oh. And remember I said about the one scene... I wish they showed this scene in Truth or Scare, because, well, you'll see why.
An apparition has been sighted near where Anne spent her last days. In 1864, a Tower of London employee working there suddenly felt a cold mist around him. A woman's figure emerged. As the worker stood watching in wonder, the figure turned towards him. But where a face should have been, there was nothing.
Okay. Imagine you were working there and you see that. A body of a woman, like, oh, okay, that's be a performer or a character actor that works in the museum. Turns around, a gust of wind blows the veil, no head, literally holding that veil. It's like, motherfucker, what? Yeet! Yeah. I wish they kept this scene. That's one way to scare the kids from the generation from the 2000s. If they kept this scene... Okay. They did keep the scene in the Truth or Scare version of Castle Ghosts of Ireland of the Elemental from Lep Castle of the creature. But they cut the scene where they show a decomposing head from the description of the smell of a rotting human corpse. I wish they kept this scene because, damn. Imagine you see this. You thought, oh, it's just a person in a costume. Turns around, the wind blows the veil off, and you see that. No head. A body with no head, like. Huh? Dude. Man. Hey. Tell you the truth, I will be scared too. Okay. This is from the description of an employee back in the 19th century Saul. Literally. And imagine you saw that yourself. Imagine you're working in the Bloody Tower where she spent her last days before she was executed, and you see this: a body of a woman walking towards where she spent her last days, turns around, the wind blows, and where her head should be, there's nothing there. That. Dude, hell nah. I'll be running. I'll be yeet out the window. Woo! I don't give a shit to long down, but hey, you're not getting my head. Hell nah. Jesus, but let's continue. Yeah, zoom in into the black void.
Do you believe in ghosts? There are things which happen to people. They haven't happened to me, but they've happened to...
This is a general talking about
people I know
about believing
in the
spirits.
tower,
Listen
which
carefully.
are difficult to explain by any sort of normal physical explanation.
Oh yeah, I forgot to mention. When he found the guy, he passed out. When he saw that specter, they almost had him executed for being drunk until there were others who witnessed it, saw the whole thing. They saw it as well, which actually saved the guy's life for being executed for falsely being drunk. Imagine that, you saw that specter, you faint, and they find, oh, this guy's drunk. Execute him. And you got buddies who saw that. And it's like, whoa, he wasn't drunk, he just saw that. It's like, what now? Oh, he wasn't drunk. Well, our bad. Sorry. You're free to go. Huh? That's how crazy it is. Imagine you almost get executed, you thought you were being drunk, but you fainted because you saw a headless spirit right in front of your eyes. Yeah, that's how crazy it is. Jesus Christ. Whew.
A frail apparition dwells in a parallel universe, trapped between reality and the beyond.
What's up, Raven?
Are these restless souls condemned for eternity to walk this blood-stained earth, tormenting the human psyche?
Sorry.
We've encountered some victims of England's long, harsh history.
Uh-huh.
Perhaps we better leave this haunted tower before we too lose our heads.
Bruh. I like your umbrella. It's like some from Resident Evil, the color scheme.
Have we persuaded you that the castle ghosts of England are real? I'm convinced that right now, somewhere, a ghost is preparing to make its nightly rounds, and another haunting will soon be underway.
Jesus Christ, damn. Woo. Okay, I like the credits. They're pretty cool. Of course you'll show that guy. The Learning Channel, huh? Ha! Not anymore. Let's see. Okay. Jesus Christ. And look at that. Look at that. Look at that. The Learning Channel, huh? Not anymore. It's now called the Lying Channel. Woo! Home of crunchy people, too many kids, fat people. Holy cow. Back then was education. Now it's just shame. Damn. Why they call it the Learning Channel if you're learning? Hey, this guy's over 600 pounds, huh? Jesus Christ. Yep. Wow. Whew. I hope you guys enjoyed it. What do you think? Are you traumatized now? It's from 1995, but hey. Compared to the one from Truth or Scare, that's all I'm saying. I'm sorry, just that. Dude, I kind of wish they kept that scene when they show Emmeline's ghost. When she turns around, the veil goes loose, and you see no head. Man, they should have kept that instead of the princess. That would have been a good way to scare the hell out of the kids from the 2000s. And that was the first episode of Truth or Scare. That would be a good way to hit the ratings. But hey, let's save the Ireland for last, the best one. Damn. But yeah, it's kind of cool. I recommend this. It's actually, they have it on Amazon, the series as well. I think they go on another name now of this series. They go under another name. I can't remember. But yeah, they're actually on YouTube. The video's on YouTube, but there's the catch. The one on YouTube is 42 minutes long. Because I don't remember, they cut some scenes missing from this one. This one's 52 minutes long, so I'll leave a link to the video where it's from. I think it's from Dailymotion. I found the video, so yeah. So, what do you think? Are you intrigued? Are you interested? Are you curious? If so, hey, I like how they, in the UK, they believe more in ghosts compared to the other parts of the world. Hey, I believe in ghosts. Where I live used to be a cemetery. I have no problem with it. Of course, you have these skeptics being a bunch of asshats asking for proof. You want proof? Okay, we'll lock you up in Alcatraz. Cut the power off. No boat ride for you. You stay there until morning. Yeah, that's one way to debunk the paranormal. Lock somebody into a prison that's surrounded by the ocean in the Bay of San Francisco. Nobody can fuck around with you. You're just by yourself in the whole island. But hey, what am I joking? But yeah, let me know in the comments down below what you think of this. You want to see more? I'm about to do a reaction of the Truth or Scare episode, The Castle Ghosts of, I think maybe Ireland? Yeah, Ireland will be next on the list. And then do a reaction of the original documentary from this series as well. The comparisons between the two. But until then, have a great day, everybody. Stay safe. Peace out. And I hope you're planning for spring break on April or March. I forgot when spring break starts. Maybe around April, I believe. Yeah. But to me, it's Holy Week, but hey. But still, I hope you enjoy this. Until then, see you next time. Comment down below what you think. If you've seen both of them, comment down below what you noticed. But until then, stay safe. Peace out.